In this lesson, we'll show you how you can export Revit files into Navisworks. We'll go about this through the Revit add-in tools. So, the first thing that we will need to do is actually go to our Revit file, because that is where we will be exporting the file from. You can see in our Revit file that we have some structural beams or framing. The exact design isn't important, but rather the functionality. From your file, go to the Add-ins tab at the very top of the screen. The ribbon will change to show New Tools. You'll click on the External Tools option, and then you'll select which version of Navisworks you want to export to. For our purposes, we're just going to go with Navisworks 2015. But note that there are other versions of these external tools that are compatible with other versions of Navisworks, including 2014. So don't worry if you don't see what you need in this example. You can definitely find it. Once you click on which version of Navisworks you want to export it to, an export window will appear, giving you the option to save your file. We're going to name it Sample Revit. From this window, you can also specify the Navisworks settings by clicking on the Navisworks Settings button at the bottom of the window. These settings can be very important depending on the nature of your project. For instance, if your Revit file has linked files in it, you'll need to click the checkbox next to Convert Linked Files. Otherwise, the linked files won't export with the rest of your Revit project. Since our file doesn't have any linked files in it, we're going to leave this box unchecked. There's no need to complicate the system if we don't have to. Another useful option here is the Export drop-down menu. This lets you choose how much of the Revit file you want to export into Navisworks. Entire Project will export the whole file. Current View will export only what you have currently open in Revit. And Selection will obviously export whatever you have selected. For this example, we'll stick with Current View. You can also choose what type of coordinates you want to use. Project Internal, which use internal coordinates for file aggregation, or Shared Coordinates, which can be modified and viewed outside of Revit. For our example, we'll go with Shared. Once you're satisfied with the settings for Navisworks, click OK. If the screen goes blank, just go down to your toolbar at the bottom of the screen and open up Revit again, because you still have to save to export the file. When you click Save, you'll see a status bar that shows the progress towards completing the NWC file. Once the file is created, we can go back to Navisworks. We'll go to the Open option on the Quick Access toolbar and find our NWC file and open it. Since we're looking for an NWC file, change the file type that you're looking for from NWD to NWC. NWC, in fact, is the default Revit export file type. Once you find your file, select it and open it. After a few seconds, the file should be loaded into Navisworks. You may have to move the camera around a little bit in order to see your model completely, but once you do, you'll see that the Revit model has been imported accurately into Navisworks.